No, it's not true that the customer is always right. We've all encountered them, the demanding, the rude, the seemingly impossible customers. But guess what? Dealing with dragons like that does not mean that you'll have to get yourself burned or burnt out. Hi, this is Mommy N, your Mommy Negosyo, and in this video, you learn what I learned throughout my 40 years of experience in dealing with problematic customers. If you want to be able to handle tricky situations with grace, protect your boundaries, and keep your business soaring even when it really gets rough out there, then hang on. Let's learn from this story. This is about Isabel, the bubbly veterinarian and a really angry customer. Isabel grew up really loving dogs, and so when she went to college, she decided to become a veterinarian. While her classmates hated the difficult subjects like macroscopic and microscopic anatomy, she woke up every day excited to learn and to understand how each of the lessons would apply to her pet dogs, as well as all the dogs that she will have as her patients someday. And because of her enthusiasm and passion, she topped her class and aced the boards. Then she got hired right after graduation and got her dream job with the best pet hospital in Metro Manila. Her mentor, the owner of the pet hospital, saw and appreciated her eagerness. And so he taught her patiently about what she needed to learn in real life, about dogs and cats in general, as well as the mindset in dealing with dog and cat owners in particular. So Isabel loved her job so much that she would work long hours even without extra pay. Sometimes when a pet is in critical condition, she would even drop by the pet hospital on her day off. Everything was perfect until her mother got sick. She was the only one who could go home and take care of her mom. So she went back to her hometown and found that the only jobs available for a veterinarian was to work for the government and to take care of cows, pigs, goats, but not dogs. So instead of getting a job, she decided to convert part of their garage into her own pet clinic. Now, this was in 2019. And so when the pandemic hit and people started to take care of pets, her clinic became very busy. Everything went well until one day, the young daughter of the city mayor brought her sick corgi puppy to her. Now, when Isabel saw the puppy, she almost cried. It was very clear that this puppy has been neglected. It was the maids that were left in charge of the puppy, and they treated her just like they would treat aspins, the local dogs that they are used to. Of course, what do they know about corgis? Corgis are a breed that needs special care. They did not know this, and therefore, when this puppy was brought to her, there was nothing that she could do anymore. So when the corgi died in Isabel's arms, the mayor's daughter was very frantic. She became so violent that she wailed so loudly and shouted at Isabel, blaming her for killing her corgi. She said, "You're so stupid!" And she made so many threats towards her that Isabel became very, very scared. But then she just kept quiet. This mayor's daughter told Isabel that, "Do you know who I am? I am the mayor's daughter, and I will do everything in my power to destroy you because of what you did to my corgi." Now, Isabel, of course, as I said, was very scared, but the natural tendency for someone who's very scared, right, would have been to explain that it was too late, that there was nothing she could do, right? And she could have reasoned out and blamed the mayor's daughter even for not taking care of the corgi better and for neglecting the puppy and just letting the maids take care of her without knowing how to really take care of the puppy well. So Isabel also loved dogs, of course, and seeing a neglected puppy die in her own arms, it was also heartbreaking for her. So she was feeling so many things at the same time. But then she knew from her training that one wrong move could have turned the situation into a fiery mess. It would have caused her to lose her business permit even, and even her own credibility, because the mayor's daughter was very powerful. Her own credibility as a vet was at stake. And therefore, she thought about it and she just kept quiet. And instead of blaming the mayor's daughter back, what she did was take a deep breath. What she wanted to do was to justify her own actions. But then she remembered that her mentor taught her about the stages of grief, and that the tendency for people who would lose a loved one was to find someone to blame. That was very natural. And she was also trained and taught by her mentor not to take the words or the actions of the patient's owner or the master of the pet, not to take these actions or the words personally, and not to even reason out, especially not to fight back, because this reaction of the customer is temporary and it is normal. So Isabel just again took another deep breath and she thanked God for the mentor mentor because she remembered her mentor at that moment. Thank you, Lord, she said, that I have this mentor who taught me how to handle this lady. So she listened to the lady calmly, did not utter a word, and she allowed her to stop and wail and blame and shout. And then eventually, the mayor's daughter finally calmed down. Isabel now acknowledged her feelings, said, I know it's really painful, ma'am. She also expressed her own pain because she said, I'm also a fellow dog lover and it also is very painful for me. And I'm really very sorry that I was not able to save your corgi. So she offered a very heartfelt apology. She also offered to help her, the mayor's daughter, to immortalize the memory of her corgi puppy by casting the paw prints of this puppy for her and putting it on a frame and then offering it to her as a gift. When the mayor's daughter saw how sincere Isabel was, she was disarmed by her genuine empathy. She finally calmed down even further and then she just left without saying a word. Now, in the following month, Isabel was surprised because she came back. And this time, she came back with a new puppy. And from there, she became Isabel's loyal customer. She even promoted her clinic in her own social media platforms and sent many of her friends to Isabel's clinic to be her customers. Wasn't that nice? So Isabel was able to turn a potentially negative situation into a positive one. She proved that her kindness and her professionalism are the best fire extinguishers for dealing with dragons. Now, was that a good story? You see, difficult customers are just people and they're just having a bad day. And that's how we should handle them. To handle them like a pro, we should remember that they are not always right, but proving them wrong will never help. Of course, the mayor's daughter was not right, but then why should you prove her wrong? Her puppy died in your arms, so what do we do instead? This is the technique. Remember this. Number 1, stay calm and professional. Take a deep breath and keep quiet. Shut up, even if this dragon is already spitting fire. Reacting emotionally will only escalate the situation. Remember this. Number 2, listen actively. Let them vent their frustrations. Go beyond the painful words they say or the actions that they do, unless they're already assaulting you physically. Active listening means that you're just listening to their feelings, and as you pay attention without interruption, you are in control. You are showing them that you care, and it helps you understand their point of view because you are not talking. You are really using your mind, using your heart to listen to them. All right? Number 3, focus on solutions. Don't ever get defensive. This means that you don't give reasons, you don't blame. Instead, have the mindset to work with them, be on their side, to find a win-win solution that satisfies both of you so that this incident will have a happy ending. Now, number 4, set boundaries. Of course, it's okay to say no to unreasonable demands. Sometimes the demands could be unreasonable, right? Like, for example, how can you make the corgi alive again? That is unreasonable. There's nothing you can do about it. So you need to protect your time and your energy and know when to disengage politely. Now, this was difficult for Isabel when her clinic was in her garage. Customers, would come and bring their pets to her at any time of the night for emergencies. It did not only disturb her sleep because if it was just her, Isabel would be okay, but it disturbed her mother as well. So, when her customers increased, what she did to set boundaries was that she moved her clinic to another part of the city. And eventually, she grew her clinic to be a pet hospital and hired other vets to work with her. Number 5, don't take it personally. I'm repeating this. Don't take it personally. Always remember that when you have angry customers, their anger is usually not about you. Don't let their negativity affect you. Remember too that allowing them to vent their feelings, they will calm down in less than an hour if you do that. It's temporary. So, have you had an experience with a difficult customer? How did you overcome the situation? Did you use any of these tips that we mentioned? Let's learn from each other and let's build a community of resilient business owners. So please share your experience below so that others can learn from you and I can learn from you as well. Let's recap. Dealing with difficult customers is really part of our journey to business success. You cannot succeed without meeting difficult customers. That's impossible. Don't let them dim your shine. By staying calm, practicing empathy, and setting healthy boundaries, you can turn these dragons into allies. No, the customer is not always right, but to prove them wrong during those critical moments will never bring us business success. So take a deep breath. And remember that you've got the strength and wisdom to handle any situation. Keep your spirit high and your business soaring. I hope this was helpful. And if you learned something today, and if you haven't done so, please sign up to our newsletter below so that you will get first dibs to more free business lessons delivered straight to your inbox. So, see you again soon. This is Mommy and your Mommy Negosyo saying, be business-minded, Pinoy!